Hello, it's Polish Pol VR. Welcome to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news. We've got two games to talk about. We've got new teaser for Tempus 84 coming soon to PlayStation VR2, but also I want to talk about the game called Hellish Quart, which I'm gonna start playing you video from it right now, just so you get idea what the game is all about. Because there's some interesting stuff I want to say to you. Right, okay, I made myself smaller. So you can see here, this is the first topic I want to talk about, this game. And this is the fencing game, as you can see here, kind of on a more realistic side. So think about it, the developer saying it's kind of like a spiritual successor to the games like Bushido Blade. Many of you might know that one from the past days of PlayStation VR, PlayStation 1. But anyway, this is done by the one of the animators I think, and mocap actors I think, or mocap capture people of The Witcher 3. Now, you might think, why am I talking about this game? First of all, it's out on Steam. It's been out on Steam last year. It's released as an early access. But I want to talk about it is because the developer said once they exit early access, which by the way, we still don't know where that's gonna be, this game will get console port as well, but of course they have to do it first on Steam, finish the game, basically. But also what's interesting and what I'm talking about it is, because lately this game had VR mode update, which lets you play this, what you see on screen, in virtual reality. Sorry, I'm burping now because I've had too much chocolate. I'm still on my holidays, so eating all the time. But anyway, so that's why I'm talking about it. They've done VR mode update. Now speaking about VR mode, of course I'm gonna play you video from the VR version, but it's don't play from first person mode, let's say like your Blade and Sorcery or the Swordsman, but you're still using your gamepad. So if it's so you're not gonna use motion controllers. You're still using your gamepad and seeing the action kind of like in let's say VR mode in Tekken 3. Tekken 3, what I'm talking about, Tekken 7 or 6, whatever the last one been on PlayStation VR2. That's how the thing is happening, so that's what's gonna be happening here. Now, I'm not saying the VR version will come to PS VR2, but what I'm saying is, this game got VR mode, and it's gonna be in full release as well, VR mode, and full release of the game will come to the consoles, which is of course PlayStation 5, that got PlayStation VR2, which I'm assuming will get this VR mode as well. In past, of course, there was some issues with the games that had VR mode on PC and never happened on PSVR, like let's say Subnautica, but that's because PSVR 1 was very limited and more difficult to program, while now it's super easy to program, and also it's super easy to program and port game to PSVR 2. It's the same development kit. In this video, what you see in the background, that's not the VR mode, by the way, but the developer was explaining that it only took them 2 weeks to port the game into the virtual reality. They said it was just like a 2 weeks side quest. Now you might say, how is that possible when the developer is saying it's so hard to port to VR their other games? And I think it's because they kept all the mechanics and everything the same, and they just changed the view for VR, while you're playing the game still with the gamepad, so they didn't have to do any motion controls or anything like that. So I just wanted to talk about this game because I think it's a super awesome title from somebody who, well, I barely can remember now, but who used to play Bushido Blade a lot in the past. This definitely caught my eye as a game that I definitely would love to play in the virtual reality on PlayStation VR2. Like I said, the footage, what you're seeing in the background now, it's still from the flat version. This is the trailer that the developer just basically made to show you, to tell you what this game is all about and how you're playing it and what's going on. But you can see here how awesome he just chopped somebody's hands off the hand. The death animation and everything are awesome as well. So no flips, no anything special, but proper realistic. This is kind of like this Eastern Europe, Slavic, let's say, Slavian, whatever, martial arts, with the sword, let's call it like that. So that's what they did, but also, of course, I don't want to talk about it too much. I want to show you the VR mode of this game, which the developer just updated a couple of months ago. So if you got PC, you can play that already in VR on PC, but I'm gonna show you now just so you can have a look and see what might be coming to PlayStation VR 2. Sorry, let me pause it because somehow I managed to get the screen massively massive. So this is something what we don't want. There you go. So that's the VR mode. I'm not gonna talk too much through it. I'm gonna turn up the sound because the developer nicely explained what's going on in VR mode. So let's go.
Hello! Hellish Quart, the physics-based realistic 3D fighting game about historical fencing, just got an update which adds an optional VR mode. Of course, you can still play Hellish Quart on your normal monitor, but you now have an option to view it in VR using Oculus or Steam VR headset.
I paused it, so yeah, he says it now it's only Oculus or Steam VR headsets, and that's of course because the game is still in early access. But like I said earlier in the video, once they exit early access, the game coming to consoles as well.
This doesn't change the gameplay, you still watch the fight from a classic fighting game side view, as if you were a spectator. Optional.
So this is what I mentioned as well. I want to say it again. This is now your physically based combat game when you waving your hands around, you watching it from the side, just like in Tekken VR mode, like a spectator.
You can also play in VR miniature mode. This makes the game world look like a diorama and the fighters appear as miniature warriors fighting on your desktop. The VR view doesn't improve the gameplay mechanically, but it does provide a stereoscopic view, so this allows you to perceive depth.
So that's what he says, it doesn't improve any mechanics on everything, but you've got this VR 3D 360 view around you, so basically you can become a camera.
And this actually helps you to judge the sword distance better. It also allows to freely change the view angle of the entire fight just with your head movements, especially in the miniature mode. To launch Hellish Quart in VR mode, you need a VR headset. If you got the game on Steam, you will be able to choose the normal mode, Oculus mode or Steam VR mode when you hit the play button. If you bought the game on GOG, just launch the game's exe file with an argument -VR mode space Oculus or -VR mode space OpenVR. The instructions are in the How to Run VR text file in the game's folder. Adding VR was just a small 2-week-long detour.
That's what he said. Adding VR took them only 2 weeks. Now, listen, I want to say about that as well, because there's many games you want to play in VR. Some of the developers adding full-on motion controls and everything, but some of the games will just benefit from being in VR, just like that one. Just like you are the spectator view. Let's go.
But well worth it, in my opinion. Seeing the characters from the game standing in front of you and physically being inside the arenas from the game feels absolutely awesome to me. And I hope it will be the same for you. If you would like to get more videos about future updates as they are released, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the Hellish Quart Facebook page.
I'm gonna put the link in the description to their YouTube channel so you can subscribe and you can follow game as well.
See you next time.
So yeah, there you have it, Hellish Quart, looking pretty cool. Let me know what you think of this game. I think it's a very interesting title. Bit different than combat games what we've got, but also if you played Bushido Blade in past, or if you enjoyed playing Tekken, even though it's been very limited in VR, then this might be something what you definitely gonna enjoy. Now, another thing I want to talk about is another teaser for Tempus 84, your upcoming, PS VR2 title. So this is the latest teaser. I showed the one other day. This is what they
supposed to be like this.
This is what they posted on their channel now. Yesterday.
It's supposed to be a short trip into the future.
Okay, so in this game you're becoming a time traveler basically, and what's happening is you're getting stuck in the year 1984. Nice hands effects. This is the not maybe, let's say, most graphically advanced game, let's say that, but also it's improved a lot since I saw it first, and it's got very original story, so many of you might enjoy. Some shooting there.
No, this can't be.
1984.
Yeah, so that's where you got stuck in the year 1984. So that's your Tempus 84. At the end of this trailer it said PlayStation VR, but also the developers on Twitter tagging it as PlayStation VR2. Okay, that's it for now. Big shout out to all the patrons. I know there is some new patrons. I'm gonna get it all sorted soon, but thank you for being here. The patrons, you're gonna get some posts from my holidays very soon, and of course stay tuned to the channel because you know, for all the latest PSVR 2 news. As soon as I got something, I'm gonna do a video right away. So thanks for watching, and that's it. Bye bye bye.